Greetings and welcome to this week's magical message. I pray you all have had a wonderful weekend as always. And as we move into this new week, I hope that you all are ready to embrace some really beautiful changes and balancing out of energies. Last week we talked a lot about things just moving in a way where you could bring conclusion. You know, there was a lot of completion that made itself available to us in the energies last week. And with that, there also comes a new vantage point, new insight, understanding. You know, you were able to see some things from a different way or in a different way that allows you to be able to transform those energies and, you know, set the appropriate boundaries and move forward in a way that is really supporting you thriving. I feel like there were some cords that were cut, some relationships that were cut off. There were some ideas or just ways of thinking that ended last week. And so as we move into this week, now is that action period of the universe acting out the changes that are following the changes that we made in the previous week. Okay, so hopefully you took last week to really get clear about where you were, who you were, what kinds of shifts and changes you wanted to see in your life, and really began to make some moves towards those changes. Last week was a week to really stay on the higher side of the energy because it would allow you to transform these energies, right? If you got into some of those lower frequencies and you were not recognizing what they were and where they were coming from, you may have found yourself feeling really tired, really burnt out in a way that didn't allow you to complete the week in a very powerful feeling position. Okay. So as we move into this new week, we start off with Blue and Dr. Grant as part of our overview. Now, this energy really feels like there was a lot of reflection, or there is a lot of reflection this week, and having had been in a space of healing, you know, being in a space where you were connecting dots, you were cutting cords, you were gathering information and raising your own vibration and shifting your perspective, shifting the way that you look at things so that you can carry it differently, right? We can't always change the events that happen, but we can change how we choose to carry them, okay? And how we choose to carry them plays a huge part in the kind of manifestations and things that we experience as we move forward. And then we have Happy Life and the Garden card, which talks about completion. So there feels once again that there was this energy of things being completed. And so you're in a space now that with that completion, you're moving into your desires being fulfilled. You're moving into a space where, you're minding your business. You're in your own world. And that energy feels really, really strong. So this week you may find that you are very much in your own space, in your own world. You are creating, you're enjoying. I feel a lot of fulfillment, a lot of peace and satisfaction. And, you may even be moving in a space where you're kind of like under a rock a little bit just because you are so much in your own world. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everything is moving just the way that it's supposed to. And I feel like in the space as you're receiving all of these really wonderful blessings and the universe is granting your desires and your wishes, I feel like there is a natural energy of having had looked back, but at the same time, you're looking back with gratitude this week. You're looking back in recognition of what was, what will never be again, and what will be, right? You're looking at where it is that you are now, because last week we also had to move in a way where we were, I've heard a lot of people say we were tested last week, right? But there was an energy that was like, okay, you need to be in a space where you are grounding yourself so that you can look at what it is that you have around you and recognize the power and the potential that it has and utilize it to its max. And so this week, we're seeing the evidence of having had used what we have around us, the connections that we have, the resources that we have, and really using them and utilizing them in a way that support the thriving energies that are coming in so that we can grow it, right? We don't want to end this week with all of these beautiful blessings and all of this beautiful experiences and turn around and the following week we lose it, or we're now we're no longer supporting it. And so it can't get stable in our lives and become a new way of life for us. So make sure that you're in a space where you're really present, right? And at the same time, in your present energy, look forward to what is to come and give gratitude to what has been. Okay. Now we have Make It Right, the Mother of Knives, and the Father of Sticks. So I feel like once again, there's an energy that is shifting and is changing. There's a balancing that's taking place this week. You have the Mother of Knives, and she can deal with, really powerful spiritual work, but she also is she is like the gateway. She holds a lot of higher knowledge, a lot of higher perspectives and understandings, belief systems, that kind of thing. And so that paired with the Father of Sticks, who brings clarity, who brings cleansing of the mind, of the head. And it feels like a very quick start kind of energy. So the quick start energy is not necessarily coming because it's just out of the blue. It's coming because you've put in the work. And so now all you needed was that little spark, right? And so I feel like this week you're experiencing the spark, you're experiencing those higher perspectives, those higher energies moving forward in your life and really helping to balance things out. On the other side, the Mother of Knives could also be a person who had a heavy influence in your life, whether it be positive or negative, but there's cleansing, there's clarity coming around that. And there's almost like a higher divine court that has ordered for there to be a reconciling or an evening of the scales, a balancing of the scales. You're making what was not right, what was out of balance, what was done wrong, you're making those things right. And not necessarily you, but the energies around you. It could be the people who have had negative influences in your life, right? You're going to be experiencing a lot of energies coming forward and wanting to make peace, wanting to make things right. And it doesn't mean that you have to let those particular people in. It doesn't mean that you have to attach and contract to those experiences again. It just means that when you see those energies come present, accept the newness that is being offered and the balancing that is being offered. Doesn't mean that you have to continue any relationships or restart any old relationships, right? This energy is still coming during retrograde energy, right? And we also have this eclipse energy that's coming. So there's a lot to look back on. There's a lot that is coming. There are a lot of moving parts and moving pieces. So make sure that you are present with who these people are and who and what these energies are and kinds of influences that they have had or could have in your life. Allow yourself to be really conscious of your perspective and where that perspective is coming from this week, so that you're in a space to support that forward movement and you don't find yourself agreeing or making contracts with energies or experiences that you no longer want in your life. Now we have moved on and the 8 of Sticks and the 10 of Knives. And this energy really feels like, there were some struggles. There was some real intense situations or relationships or experiences, Spirit, that you were needing to move through. Right. And maybe for whatever reason, maybe there were people moving against you. Maybe there were energies that were just acting as obstacles or illusions or just things getting in the way of that progress that you wanted to make or you coming out victorious. And so you've moved on from that space this week, right? This week, this energy is really inviting you to celebrate the fact that you have moved forward. You have moved on and very quickly. And if it hasn't felt like it's very quickly, expect for your week to have a very fast moving energy, right? Allow for yourself to just trust and have faith in this movement because it is moving quickly. And when that happens, you don't want to just pop out and just start doing things sporadically without thought or based off of heightened emotions or fear, right? yes, things are moving and it's wonderful and it's amazing. And maybe you will have blessings that come in that allow you to make some different kind of decisions, allow you to do some different things. Just make sure that when you make those decisions, you're really putting thought into it. Where is it that you are investing your energy? Where is it that you're investing your finances, your mind, your emotions? Because as you continue to water those gardens, those are going to be the things that grow, right? If you've planted them in fertile ground. And it's important that we make sure that we're planting things in fertile ground from now on. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have hiccups here and there, but it does mean that you now have had energies turned back in your favor. You have had energies that were moving against you moved out of the way. And so now you get to kind of rewrite your story. You get to recreate what this looks like for you and allow for everything that is owed to you, everything that is due to you, everything that you have been working for to come into your life. And I feel like they're coming forward in really big ways, right? Really major ways that change your outlook on life, ways that change the way that you experience relationships with people or even with yourself, right? And the world around you. And that's a really beautiful energy to come in with, because I know that we've put in so much work. We've put in the effort. We've made the sacrifices. And so now as we move forward, we get to move forward with a clean slate. And anything that we're taking with us, it is fertile. It is something that will grow. And there are relationships that support that growth and that fertility. Okay. So as we get into the beginning of the week, we have 555, newborn, years, settle, elephant mama, mother, and family truth. Yeah, so 555 is automatically huge changes, really major changes. And as I said that this particular recording is number 55. And so there again are those fives, right? So a lot of fast moving, huge happy changes. And it's interesting because this newborn card also has happy life, and we got happy life in our overview. So this could be a thing of, maybe there's some new babies that are coming in, maybe some children that you've been wanting to have for some years now. But this could also just be new creations coming into your life, those things that are fulfilling, those things that allow you to feel rejuvenated and like you've recreated yourself, because it feels like a new birth. It feels like something brand new for you, and really happy with a lot of new experiences. And, it may take a little bit of courage to take on some of those new possibilities, those new opportunities, but you've been waiting for them. So I don't feel like it's anything that's going to hang you up. It kind of just feels like, those little jitters that you get right before you get it ready to go on stage to give your big acceptance speech or something. So this energy is not negative at all. It is really positive, and it's really focusing on the creations that you have been focused on, what it is that you've been wanting. And once again, with years, it feels like this is something that you've wanted for a long time, that you've been working towards for a long time. And maybe you hadn't quite gotten there or seen the results in the fullness or in the ways that you really wanted. And so expect there to be shifting and changing in how you experience these blessings coming in. And then you have settle. And that, with elephant mama and mother, there is an energy here of home. So, you could have just moved. You could be wanting to move, or maybe you're just wanting to make shifts and changes within your home, within your family, within your day-to-day way of life. But really wanting to allow yourself to experience peace and belonging, wanting to feel like, you got your feet under you and you're grounded and you're stable. And so with the elephant mama and the mother card, it's like that double dose of mother energy that's saying and confirming and reaffirming the fact that this is coming, that this is what it is supposed to be. Okay. And you have family truth with years and settle. So this energy really felt like, there are some family truths that are being revealed and dispersed this week. You have two different sides that I'm feeling. I feel like on one side, you're going to be able to see very clearly any kind of family lie, any kind of energy moving throughout the bloodline. You know, some of those completions and those endings could be to generational curses, to generational entities and things that have followed the bloodline and just played a part in some of the experiences that you've had moving forward. Some, you know, they may be experiences that you can't even explain why you've had them, but maybe you seem, or maybe you feel as though you've had them since you were born, or since you were a baby, or just for such a long time. Or it feels like after a certain period of time, you started experiencing something that went completely against where it is that you were working so hard for. And so I feel like though that is part of what is balancing out this week. On the other side, I feel like you are living that family truth, right? Like you're living that higher frequency of what you were divinely meant to experience, right? A lot of times we may come into family situations that are not ideal, that are abusive, that are not supportive of who we are, right? But you came through that particular bloodline for a reason, and maybe you represent a truth within the bloodline that had not been recognized or expressed in the way that you're divinely meant to express it. And so this week, you're going to have the opportunity to really step into that and really see what that feels like to be recognized for who you are. Right? To be loved on, to be supported, to be stable, or to experience stability simply because you are who you are. And I feel like so many of us have experienced the exact opposite because of who we are. Well, now the tables have turned and you're looking at this and experiencing this from a completely different position. And that's a really wonderful space to be in, especially, again, knowing how much work has been put in for this. Now, in the middle of the week, we have Gentle, 3 of Baskets, 6 of Knives, Pa, which is the Moon card, and the Royal Bill, which is the Chariot. With the 3 of Baskets and Gentle, this really feels like there are some family secrets, and not necessarily family secrets that are just horrible, you know, but like ways of doing things. And this feels like this could be passed down ancestrally. And you may, even if you're not consciously aware of having the ability to channel messages, or maybe you don't pull cards, or maybe you don't have an ongoing spiritual practice that allows you to have that connection with your ancestors. I feel like it's going to come regardless. And whether it's in your dreams, whether it's in ideas that you all of a sudden have, or just clarity that you all of a sudden have, and you know how to move forward, you know what is, what your next steps are. Okay. With the 6 of Knives and the Pa card, it's like that movement that you've been needing, that way forward that you've been needing, that feeling of the gap that has been hidden, or you just have not seen clearly. You have that clarity, and it's your ancestors, it is your spirit team, it is your guides that are collectively coming together to support you in this movement, in this knowing, in this recognition of yourself truly. Okay. And in that, it's going to also help you to see those around you that are not standing for you. And so make sure that you follow those intuitive little bits of like insight, or because I feel like some of them may come very quickly, but it's going to be up to you to really pay attention to them and honor those things, because your ancestors are going to tell you who's for you, who's not for you. They're going to tell you who's playing games and who's not playing games. And if you miss it, right, then you risk taking those energies back in. So make sure that you're paying attention. Make sure that you are aware, because sometimes the reason that some of these things were hidden is because they were purposely being hidden, right? Maybe you just have people in your energy who were distractions from where your focus needed to be able to see this way forward. Maybe you were having experiences that were causing your focus to be taken away from where it is that you really wanted them to be. And so now this week, there's a revealing that's coming forward, and it is divinely granted. This is straight from the ancestral realm. So this is something that has been in the works for a long time, and they have been supporting you in getting to this part where you can finally see what you had not been able to see. You're able to leave behind the old, the things that don't work. You're able to move forward in a space of peace and gratitude, knowing that your path is truly your divine path, and knowing that and feeling that, and then having that couple or paired with the energy of experiencing it, that's only going to build that strength in that knowing, and that knowing of who it is that you are and what it is that you were meant to do. I feel like it's going to help to build your strength around unwavering faith, because it doesn't, even though you've moved through this space, it doesn't mean that in the future you won't have things that you need to move through, things that require your strength, require your patience, require your faith. But now you have gone through that initiatory period where you were building those muscles up so that you could see, so that you knew how to move, so that okay, this is going on. I need to go within, right? Maybe normally I would have been all outside, externally interacting or trying to combat different stuff. But now I realize I need to go within, right? And then also understand that sometimes these energies have lasted as long as they have in your life because there were a particular period of time that those energies had to be there for you to get the full spectrum, the full picture of what was going on. And then you have to go through that clearing period, that cleansing period, that washing away. And I feel like that is the space that we have been in. And we're moving out of that space this week. Okay, so there is brand newness that is coming in. And then we end the middle of the week with the Railroad Bill, which is the Chariot card. So again, those things that we have been working towards, those changes, those shifts that we have been really putting our energy into and really dedicating and committing ourselves to is what is coming in. Okay. And I feel like this energy, once again, is moving really fast. It's like I can feel the energy of that train moving. And you know how, like, if you're standing near the tracks, you can feel the ground shaking. You can feel that movement coming. You can hear it before it even comes up. Right. And I feel like that's where we had been. We could feel it. We could hear it. And we couldn't quite see it. And so in the middle of the week, and it's interesting that it would come in the middle of the week because this energy feels like it's filling the gap. It's filling that space from where you were to where you will be. Okay. And that is extraordinary. So congratulations. And now as we move into the end of the week, we have the 8 of Coins, Bishop C.H. Manson, Father Sims, 5 of Baskets, Black Herman, and the 7 of Coins. And it's interesting because this energy feels like it's not taking away from anything that we have already started in the beginning and the middle of the week. But the end of the week is highlighting what this balance has created on the other side. So you may even bear witness to some of the balancing of these scales, especially towards the end of the week. You may have people reaching out, asking for your help, wanting your help, but these are some of the same people that have moved against you, right? So just be mindful of that. And just kind of came through really quick. Now, looking at the 8 of Coins talks about work. It talks about, self-employment. This could be internships. This could be just putting in the effort, putting in the work. I also see this card not only as a money card, but also as the writer. Okay. And I know, it's dealing with the coins, but this energy is always represented the writer to me. It could be someone who's channeling things of value, someone who's writing things of value. So maybe that is your work. Maybe whatever it is that you do for work, you're writing, you are dealing with things that are of high value. Okay. And then with Bishop C.H. Manson, there's a balancing there as well, because he talks about being in a space where you are willing to not only balance the scales, but, moving in that balance, but you're also in a space where you are He could talk about conformity. So there's an energy here of like, there is a new sense of order that's coming. Right? There is a new sense of order that's coming because of the balance that's taking place regarding this Five of Baskets energy. So it could be loss, it could be ending in relationships or changes in relationships, or just things that are close to your own heart, things that are of value to you emotionally, right? Or relationship wise. But he's bringing in a new energy of balance and supporting this restructuring. That's what I was getting to. Okay. So he's supporting a restructuring that's taking place in your life. And you may not have even realized how much gold, how many things of value you had around you, or the value that you had within yourself. But it's like this week, it's unveiling. Like, I literally feel like it's just peeling away all of the stuff that, is no longer useful. And what you're realizing towards the end of the week is how absolutely golden you are. Like, I literally feel the weight. I can see the color and the vibrancy of this gold. It's like you're realizing your true value. Right. And your value is being recognized. Your value is being poured into. So there's an energy here of being seen, of being recognized, of a greater sense of respect being paid to you. Right. And this is coming from the collective. This is coming from those around you, your community, the circles that you move in. Right? Maybe people who even judged you incorrectly. Maybe they thought that you were the one out of order. Maybe they believed you were the one who needed to change. You were the one who needed to shift. And not that you didn't have changes and shifts that you needed to make with yourself, but their perception was inaccurate. Okay. But I feel like there's going to be recognition of who you are. And that could also, there's that beautiful side, but then there's also the shadow side that, that can attract people who have no intention on honoring that light that you have, coming in wanting to utilize that power. So they may be coming in wanting to, can you help me with this? I need this. Can you do this? I want to talk about this. I want us to make this work. I want us to be at a peaceful space with each other. And we can do this. And turn that energy away. Right? Accept, celebrate the balancing that those things are representing coming into your life. But there's no need to pour out into spaces that don't pour into you. Okay. And now you have the Black Hermit. And the Black Hermit is the magician. He has the ability to utilize both his outward world and his inner world to serve him. Okay. And I feel like with the Seven of Coins following that, there's a magician in your life that you're going to see very clearly. Right. And so that could be that person or that those people who are. And this could also be for some of you. This is not for everybody, but this could be for some of you. Maybe these are people who dabble in spiritual work, right? That you're witnessing or that you're seeing. And they may not even realize that you see them yet. I'm looking at the way that she's looking back on him, but his back is turned towards her, right? And even in the picture with her, there's a pig walking off in the opposite direction. So it's like, they don't even realize how much you see, but you see. And so you hold yourself accountable to what you see and you move forward. Okay. But you are moving on this week. That is that energy. You see very clearly, right? You've gathered up all of your stuff and they don't even realize that you have been gathering up your stuff. They have no idea what has truly been happening. But here it is. It's happening. You see it. No need to announce it to the world. I feel like this is something that you need to keep with yourself, because not everybody deserves to be a part of your happiness. Not everybody deserves to be a part of what is coming to you. So there's no need for you to broadcast it. There's no need for you to, try to correct people that still have you, have a incorrect perspective of you. Right. I didn't want to say what came up my head, but people that didn't see you, basically, right? You have the opportunity to move forward, and you're moving forward without them, and you're going to be witness to what is to come of them as you're walking away, and as you're taking with you everything that they have pulled from you, everything that they have stolen and thought they got away with, things that they thought that they were going to be able to do or say and there would be no repercussions, things that they believed that they were too powerful to have to deal with the consequences of. You see it, and you done gathered up your stuff, and you are on your way, and you're no longer hung up by the stuff, the illusions, and the drama that they have wanted to implant in your life. And that is absolutely amazing. And it's a beautiful follow-up to the work that we did last week, to come into a week where there is so much fertility, so much beauty, so much being returned to you. And at the same time, there's so much recognition of who you are. Right? I feel like there's going to be an energy of you being social this week too. So you may be getting out, you may be having some fun, you may be talking to people, and maybe these are people that you wouldn't even normally talk to. Maybe these are people that you wouldn't necessarily maybe have access to previously, but now you are in a different ball game. You were in a completely different energy. And so once again, those tables have turned. You're in a space where your life is about to and is going through some drastic changes. That's a wonderful thing. And I mean, on the shadow side of all of this, it is the exact opposite, right? It is the Tower card in its most Tower cardness. So you'll know exactly where you stand. And I feel like already. If you've been putting in the work. If you've been moving against someone, doing work against someone, trying to create obstacles, trying to delay stuff, trying to get in the way. You know what this is. So I feel like, this week, the cards that came out were, the reading felt very simple, very to the point. But it feels like that's what it is. It is very simple, and it is very much to the point. I feel like, there's not a whole lot of guessing. It's not a whole lot of trying to figure it out this week. It is what it is. You see it, you know it, you're moving on it, and you're not worried about the rest of it. So I hope you all are ready. I hope you all are celebrating, because it is now time. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out the reading. I hope that you all received a message that really supports you moving forward. And really, if you hadn't been feeling like you were ready to celebrate, I hope that you were getting into those energies. Okay. And now, if this reading resonated with you, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you can get the notifications every week when I post. And I will talk to you all next week. Bye.